Hey guys, how's it going? Been long overdue. This is Fernando, your watch guy. This video, I am going to try to go over how not to buy a fake vintage watch, especially chronographs. I've been buying a few of them. I've been looking them over, and I see that especially the higher name ones are being sold as Breitlings, as Omegas, but they are fakes. So they are vintage watches, they are vintage chronos, but they are totally fake. They are made up. They'll buy a normal watch, a normal chronograph watch with a small name or a no name. Let's say for instance something like this, and they will redo the dial. They will buy a bridge, a chronograph bridge that says Breitling or that says Omega or that says anything else, and they will reinstall that other bridge and sell it off as a name brand watch. But in reality, it is not. Okay, how do they do that? Okay, they do that because most of these watches, there's only 4 big manufacturers of chronograph movements. Okay, and most of them you're gonna have your Landeron, you're gonna have your Vosges, you're gonna have your Venus, and right here I will show you the names: Vosges, Venus, Landeron, and that last one we will rarely see that one being made. So that's why the parts all fit one within the other. Okay, I will show you in a minute. These are your newer ones. So new ones are extremely hard to fake because it's just a Hamilton with a Vosges 7750, I think. It says on the back. So these are extremely hard to fake. 7753. Okay. And then you have like this glycine right here, which also is a Vosges. Vosges is now part of ETA. So these are basically impossible, but everything's possible. Impossible to fake. Older Seikos, those are in-house movements, so those are other watches that you're not going to be able to fake. But when you get into your Breitling, right here, that has a your Breitling has a Lemania movement, so that one there, you could interchange parts and buy a bridge of another Lemania movement and just stick it in there. Make a Breitling where there is no Breitling. Here's a Sandoz that has a Vosges 7733, and it's basically the same watch. Only a 3-register chronograph and a 2-register chronograph. What takes me not to change this Sandoz into a Breitling? It's extremely easy to do. Okay, so I'll go over some of the steps for you to find out how your vintage chronograph might be a real one or a fake one. Let's go ahead and see this Breitling Cadet. Okay, so this one is an 18 karat gold. You could see there the hallmark for 18 karat gold. So that is correct. Okay, and we're going to look at the movement. Okay, now if I'm going to try to get it to focus. if we look at the movement, the bridge, the one I'm saying, they change very easily. Because this is still a Venus 188 movement. So it still says Breitling 17 Yule, but that bridge right there could be swapped out very easily. Okay, now let's see right here. This is another tail that I look for on the watches. BOW. That's the export stamp right here for the watch. So we're looking for that BOW. And then right there we could see the little star, which means it's a Venus, and right there the 188. Okay, so right there we could see and be certain that this movement is completely authentic. Okay, of course we could look at the case back and the general conditions of the watch. Okay, so this is a completely authentic movement. But if you're looking at one and you only get this part and then nothing else makes sense, just steer away from it. Look at your dial. If your dial is too new, too good to be true, it probably is. It's probably a remake, and that's where you got to be careful. Now on these watches, everything is super soft, super crisp. Everything works perfectly on these watches. When you when you get one of the Franken watches, they're hard to wind. They're not as crisp. They're just not there. You'll find out. And the only reason I'm making this video is because I purchased 3 watches, 3 Breitling. Mainly all came from the West Coast, and all 3 had to go back because they were Franken watches. So I decided to make this video. Chronographs are hot right now. Everybody's buying chronographs, and it's just hard to imagine that most of them are fake. Okay, now to stay on the safe side, this is one of the much better brands. You got your Pierce Mono Pusher. These movements, there is no faking them. They're what they are. They don't use their lander on. It's just a really nice movement. Or to stay even on the safer side, try and purchase a chronograph Swiss. Most of the no names are chronograph Swiss. I'm going to show you this one here. Okay, it's still a chronograph Swiss with a lander on 48, but what they used to do, they used to send them with a blank dial, and the jewelry store would put the name of their jewelry store on the dial and use them as a promotion piece. So, but most of these watches are made by this brand, Chronograph Swiss. Now, other thing you got to see, what are you looking for as far as size? 34 millimeter versus a 36 millimeter. So that's another thing. Most of these watches, I got this actual right here with the pump pushers. This is a 34 millimeter case. This is a 36 millimeter case. So the nice part about this watch, it's water resistant. If you have a screw back, it'll be water resistant. Okay. Now most of these watches, they're not full stainless steel. That's why you got the pitting on the sides. One way to see if the watch is all stainless steel, it would just say right here, stainless steel. It wouldn't say back. They wouldn't specify the back part. If it would only say stainless steel, that means the whole watch would be stainless. But the only way to make them anti-magnetic is using your bronze and only the stainless back. Okay, so there is a difference right there between those two. And I'll show you this other one, Lemania. Right here, you got the pump pushers, and then you got the normal pushers right here. And all of these watches are going to have casing pitting on the side, and again, stainless steel back. So if you're going to buy a name brand, be very careful, especially on chronographs. Try to stick with your non-name brands. That way you know it's going to be an authentic watch and you're not going to pay a premium. Okay? Go with Breitling, you're going to start paying a premium, but just make sure it is an authentic Breitling. Make sure it is what they say. Make sure that it is what the listing says, and you won't get hurt. Okay. Then you get into the massive. I think this one's 40 millimeter. You can see the difference of the size. 40 millimeter against a 34 millimeter. Now, this is what I mean when you do a cross-reference with the balance wheel bridge. See how it says there BOW. Okay, BOW. So then you find a page that will give you the U.S. import codes. So let's look for BOW. Okay, and BOW we could see right there, Breitling Watch Corporation. So those are the small signs you have to look for, not just the bridge. Look for every single signature you could find on the watch to make sure it's an authentic. Breitling, it's an expensive watch. Rolex, Omega, they're expensive watches. They paid for everything. They paid for everything to be marked and properly imported or exported. So make sure you look for all the signs when buying a vintage chronograph, okay? So here we have a Seiko 6138 7000 and side ruler. Most of these watches, the side ruler is missing, so I'm not going to buy an aftermarket one for this one. I'll wait till I could get a original one for this one. What else can I show you? Here we go. 18 karat. You could buy 18 karat gold ones and pay a little bit more, but these watches are very nice. They are military. Oh, no, difference. This is a Landeron 248, I'm sorry. This movement right here. Okay? Now you'll notice a counter side by sides. Most of the times when you have up and down counters, registers, they will have a Venus movement. So those are your two different types of movements. Two of the different types of movement you have. And if you're lucky on the vintage ones, you're going to find a volume movement, but it's kind of hard. On the 70s watches, they're fairly common to find volume movements. But on the older ones, it's fairly difficult to find them. So that's another reference. And size also, hands. You got the Breguet hands on this one. Okay. And this is a rare 38 millimeter watch. I'll show you. You could see the size difference. 34 millimeter, 38 millimeter. So it all depends what you guys want to do, what you want to buy, but steer away from buying fake vintage chronographs. They're out there. Their chronographs are hot right now. They're going to get hotter, and the dress watch is getting slower and slower. The dive watch is going down. Chronographs, everybody's after them. So, you know, these watches, I want to say 5 years ago, I would pay $50 to $75 per watch. Now I can buy them for $200 to $300 in good condition. Dial condition, Case condition. This one's actually has a pretty nice case, and depending on the movement that you have, that's what's going to make the difference on them. So it all depends what you guys are looking for. Okay, but like I say, the purpose of this video is to create awareness of the fake watch that's out there. And like I say, the 3 that I bought came from the West Coast, and 3 had to go back. So another thing, if you find one with a pulsation style, that's rare. Those, if it has pulsations, it's extra rare. So another thing to look for, these new watches are nice, but they're not my style. Actually, I'm more into the vintage. So it all depends what you like. So guys, thank you for stopping by as always, and I hope this video helps you a little bit. And if you have any questions, just leave me an email. I will get back to you. I left a link for my Instagram down below. And guys, like I say, I don't edit my videos. Whatever comes out, comes out. And hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it was beneficial to you. And hopefully you don't get stuck with a fake vintage chronograph. And if you do, send it back. Send it back and get your money back. Buy something that's worth it. Don't pay extra for something that's not there. So, #1 watches I've seen faked, Omegas and Breitling. Those 2 watches, be very, very careful with those. And guys, as always, take care. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll try to make another one pretty soon, and not wait a few months before I do another one. Thank you guys.